Tempt Agency, please have a seat.
Thank you for meeting with me, Mr. Hornswoggle.
No, it's my pleasure. You know, with the economy the way it is right now, business is booming like never before, and we're always on the lookout for new and talented individuals.
Well, sir, I really think I'm your demon.
Well, we'll just have to see about that. Well, so here's the question for you. Where are you from, Mr. Allen?
Hell.
Obviously, what part of hell?
Oh, I'm just north of the Lake of Fire, actually.
That's a nice area.
Yes, sir.
So, let's go to the chase, shall we? What makes you think you're Tempt Agency material?
Well, sir, I just graduated from underling school for the Deceivers, got a master's in fear and worry, and I think I'm really ready to put those skills to the test at the big dance.
You know, I'm actually an underlings man myself.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I remember my senior project like it was just yesterday. In fact, I convinced a man to start his own religion.
How'd you do?
Ever heard of a little thing called Scientology?
That was you.
Needless to say, I got an A.
Sir, this is exactly why I want to work for the Tempt Agency. You'll have the best demon heaven-hell ratio of any demon alliance.
I see you've done your research. I'm very impressed.
I know everything there is to know about this company. I know the best deceiver last year was Pete the Deceit Taylor. I know that he led 4 megachurch pastors into sin and completely destroyed their careers. And I also know he was the leader in the Great Blasphemy Project.
Well, Pete did have a good year, I have to say.
I also know that the whole company was involved in turning the enemy's name into a swear word and making the word Christian synonymous with hypocrite and the word church synonymous with boring.
It has always been our mission to lie, cheat, steal, and manipulate. We do better than anyone else. But what would you like to do here?
Well, sir, like I said, I got my degree in fear and worry. And, you know, I really enjoy that aspect of work. I like to make people focus as little on the present and more on the past and future. You know, 2 areas where they have absolutely no control. I make them focus as little on their, day-to-day lives, the people they come in contact with, and the things that they have to do. Instead, I make them focus on the past and the future. And you know what? It's really successful and actually lots of fun. Last year, I convinced a man to leave his wife by convincing him that he could have made it big with this band that he had when he was in college, if he wouldn't have just settled down.
Oh, you gotta love them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But really, that did the trick?
Well, not at first. I had to give him a, vision of his future.
His real future?
Well, no, not his real future. Distorted reality, where, his job kept getting worse, his debt kept piling up, and, his wife just kept getting, more annoying, And so, all of that, I also threw in a couple of ads about divorce on the radio.
That's so helpful.
Egg him on, did the trick.
Well, let me ask you this. Where's this man now?
Sector 7G, drunk driving accident.
I have to say I'm impressed, but I've got to be honest with you. I don't usually hire a man of such little experience.
I realize that, sir, but no one will work harder to bring people to hell than I will.
You know what? I like you, kid, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a shot. Let's say we hire you.
I like this going.
Let's say we sign you to your first case, maybe a man, mid-20s, in and out of church. Not entirely sure what he believes in, but here's the kicker. He's got a girlfriend, and things are getting pretty serious. What would be your first step to make sure this man ends up on our side of eternity?
Well, first, I'd do more research, actually. The more work you do up front, the less you have to do in the end. Check twice and lie once. That's what my old man used to say. But I would do this research, and I would find his weak spots and where he's vulnerable. And I would attack these vulnerabilities, but I would do it slowly. If you go too quickly, they become aware of your presence, and then they just run to the enemy for help.
What about the church situation? Wouldn't that be a problem?
Actually, sir, that's really easy. Yes, sir, I would play up the hypocrite card of everyone around him, make him completely unaware of his own falsehood. I would make him think that everyone was being insincere when they were talking to him, but really he was the one being fake. I would put thoughts in his head like, this homily is so long or boring, or why did they play this song, or they're always asking for money. And then, if none of that was working, I would inflate his pride and ego and convince him that he'd be better off just reading the Bible at home. And after that happens, I can easily wean him off of those words into something more suitable for our level.
Sure, but it gets a little more challenging. What about the girlfriend?
Well, sir, that all depends, actually.
On?
If she's, pulling him to our side of eternity, I would make sure things ran very smoothly. Actually, I would talk to a couple other demons out there and see if they could get their men to talk to my guy, tell him how boring marriage is and how Christianity only complicates things in the end.
Okay, and let's say this girl she's a believer. Then what?
Well, that depends. I would I would give him a grass is always greener complex. Show him how boring marriage is. Or I would tempt him to push the limits sexually. Get him to go keep going farther and farther past his limits until he began to feel guilty about what he was doing. Then I would get him stuck in a state of sin and guilt until he was ashamed of what he was doing and he felt terrible about it, but he continued to do it anyway. So basically, what I'm trying to get here is an ever-increasing craving for never-diminishing pleasure. Exactly, sir.
I've heard enough. I've just got to be the one to say it out. You are a sick, sadistic liar with an ego the size of hell itself, and welcome to the team.
Are you serious, sir?
Could I lie to you?
Absolutely.
But I'm not now. Come on. But first, let's get you a real tempter's name. I mean, Evan, that rhymes with heaven for hell's sake.